Welcome back to our final match of this afternoon here for the Drury Esports Invitational Tournament. St. Clair College is now up against Northwood University. Of course, like I was saying before the break, it's been a team that we've constantly had troubles with in other esports titles. I know our Rocket League team had a hard time, Overwatch team had a hard time. Good matches nonetheless, but they've always had our number. And it's going to be up to our League of Legends squad now here to see if they can turn this around. Of course, my name is Dan Banner, going to be your host again for game number 6. It's been a long day. I know personally I am absolutely dead, but it's worth it here for these games. And I'm still back at it like the Scion you tried to kill, except this one doesn't shut up instead of attacking you. So anyway, into the draft phase. Of course, Northwood University going to be taking the blue side. St. Clair in the red. Once again, Camille taken off the board here for Frez. Zoe for Yule, and Elise from Trick. Then on the side for St. Clair, Lucian taken away. Olaf and Ash all gone. It seems to have been a play that they've been doing throughout most of this tournament. Take away some of these common AD carry threats, and then pick something additional. Looking at what's been selected so far, Northwood picking up the set. This is the first time he's been slipped through. Most of this time he has been banned. Meanwhile, St. Clair picking up the Draven and the Gator. We've got Renekton coming to play. I know Chelsea would be laughing at me right now. There's been this Twitter account that I've been following that throws nothing but gator pictures up. And it's so adorable. I thought those things were disgusting. It has completely single-handedly changed my mind. Gators rule. Top lane looking to be selected here. Mordekaiser coming out here for Northwood. And then one more pick on the way. See what ends up happening there. Looking at our opponents for today, Northwood University up in the top lane. We have Bendy. And then in jungle we have Ben Snap. Mid lane, Ghost Electricity. In the bot lane we have Tilsap on AD carry and Hero on support, and it looks like Tilsap is going to be picking up the Zaya. This is going to be the first one that I've seen so far in this tournament. And to be honest, I used to think Zaya got a ton of play, but things must have changed since the last time I remember. Although what really has me intrigued now is this bot lane. Of course, we're going to have Mietsfo on Leona, and Lazzie's playing Draven. Alrighty then, this is definitely a first. Rakan looking to get taken off the table. Of course, Zaya Rakan, they do have some special interactions, some additional, I think it's either additional healing and like quicker backs and being able to get back to base faster and stuff like that. Was definitely thinking about it, but going to opt for the banning of Lilia instead. I'm not sure if they're believing that this is going to be a set mid lane for Ghost Electricity, or what is going on here. The Ornn banned away. I mean, top lane's already been picked, so I mean, I've never seen the Renekton flexed anywhere. At least not in a while. So it's weird to me that some of these bans are going towards things that are already picked. The double ban onto the jungler, triple ban onto the jungler now, so gonna have to dig deep, and sure enough, Trick gets his Nidalee. So I mean, we already know that that Trick is extremely solid on this champion. But now, what does Northwood University pick? They got rid of a ton of meta junglers, but there still has to be someone. The Zaya Rakan combo is available, of course, still going to pick it up. The bot lane lovers coming through. And then for the final pick, the jungler is still not certain here. It very well could be a mid laner as well if that set is going in the jungle, and it very well might be the case if this Orianna does get picked. Yeah, so all these jungle bans, it's the power of a flex pick. Like, all these bans were towards a position that was already claimed for St. Clair, that Lilia and Zach not going to affect them in the slightest, unless they decided last minute to switch where that set was going. But we'll have to see. There's going to be a mid lane. I mean, the Syndra is still available, I do believe, but we're going to get the classic, the first champion I've ever played in League of Legends. Veigar coming out to play. The little devil himself is going to be doing some mega burst damage here onto some AP targets, I'm sure. Orianna is going to have a fun time one way or another. Either the Orianna is going to be able to stay safe, and of course Veigar is extremely squishy and just have fun that way, or Veigar can push R and just absolutely delete somebody even harder than Syndra if it is an AP target. But without further ado, we'll confirm where these champions are being played via the in-game client itself. We'll take a look in a moment to see where these champions are going. Okay, so the draft goes through. It's nothing like or it is pretty much what we thought it was going to be. So it's going to be Ben Sapp who's going to be playing the set this time. Of course, curious as to how St. Clair will handle Ben Sapp on this character, considering they've been either they banned it against St. Clair or St. Clair banned it themselves so far this entire tournament. So I'm sure there's a reason why. And in fact, if I saw the stats correctly earlier, I know Coach Blazin gave me a sheet not too long ago with all of the current stats here in the group phase as is. And the most banned champion, sure enough, 17 out of 17 up until this point was Set, followed up by Olaf, actually. So, interesting enough. And then Syndra, Ezreal, and Ashe rounded up the top 5 in regards to bans. And of course, St. Clair, obviously, I mean, of course they want to win this one, but there is, of course, other repercussions if they do not, because you want the best seeding possible moving forward in this tournament, because it will definitely make an impact onto who you play tomorrow. Of course, with it being a single elimination tournament, there is the chance that, it's a one and done. So if you have the 4th seed from your group, you're going against whoever won the other group, which absolutely, that ruins your chances a little bit. Your day could be done early if that is the case. And you get that 2nd or 3rd seed, however, and you'll be going up against either a 2nd or 3rd seed on the other side. So, better your chances a little bit. You don't want to go up against the team that was on fire all day. You want to go for the one who is just short. Or if you can get yourself 2nd in the group, just better your odds, basically. At least on paper. Of course, anything could happen, and there's always room for the underdog victory. I'm just double checking. I want to see if I can find the group right now. Of course, everybody, if you !bracket in the Twitch chat, here on the Saints Gaming CA channel, you can see exactly what it is that I'm seeing in regards to the current standings. At least what I will be seeing here momentarily. I want to take a look at the other group because right now, well, take a look at ours real quick first. Like St. Clair's actually in the lead right now with a 5-1 victory, but that's counting the bye earlier in this game. Shawnee State Bears, Northwood University all still have another match after this, so it could tie us up here, but we're definitely on pace to have either a first, second, or third place position. Not going to be in the bubble seat, thankfully. Now on the other side, there are two teams with 5 victories right now. There's the Blinn Buccaneers, Indiana Tech, Illinois College, and Marian University that are leading the charge, the top 4 in those regards. So of course, we'd much rather play against a team that's gone 3-4 or 4-3 than one that's gone 6-0 or something like that, you know what I mean? So this one still has a lot on the line. It would be absolutely fantastic to see St. Clair take this W and hope that Shawnee State somehow slipped up in their match. They could very well still win their group, but some things have to line up that are outside of Saints' control now. But the only thing that is in their control would be winning this game right here, right now. So in a few moments, we'll be hopping into the game itself. Of course, big thank yous to the sponsors that do make this possible here at the Saints Gaming CA channel and supporting the St. Clair Saints. Of course, that's the St. Clair Alumni Association, PC Outlet, Zeckelman School of Business and IT, St. Clair SRC, Tim Hortons, and St. Clair College itself, of course. Thank you all for making this program possible. And thank you all for tuning in. It's always a pleasure being able to commentate all these matches and produce these matches here for you on the channel. And I'm happy that you're here supporting your friends, family, classmates, or the program in general. It's absolutely fantastic. And if I can give you a little bit of entertainment this weekend, you've made my day. So I thank you for it. Right around the corner, I'm sure you can hear the music. Teams are loading in. It is just about game time. Let's get into it. Final one of the night here for St. Clair versus Northwood University. Tall task ahead of them, and we've got some interesting team compositions, so we'll have to see. Can St. Clair be the first team to take out Northwood of our varsity teams? That would be definitely interesting. Well, I mean, I guess if you include the Northwood B team, I think Rocket League already took that, but you know what I mean. I'm talking about the main varsity. I'm losing it, guys. Main varsity roster. Oh, we got the Lucky Charm, Vagar. Got him. Yeah, overall, just a standard line of scrimmage. Doesn't look like anybody's going for anything aggressive. I know looking at that St. Clair bot lane, you'll be expecting them to try to push rather quickly. Snag themselves that level 2. Draven and Leona can do a ton of damage together if a target gets locked up. And this is weird. I don't see Lazzie's Draven very often. Jan's foes, Leona, comes out on occasion. But it'll be interesting nonetheless. Of course, Ghost Electricity on the Orianna. Going to be trying to give Yule a hard time as well. Then Bendy and Frez up in the top lane. Mordekaiser versus the Gator. Where will that end up? Oh dear. Does appear that there is a bit of an internet hiccup here on my end here, so I do apologize if it's a little bit laggy for you for the moment, but we should be back in action just in time to start seeing the action. Yule gets pushed into his turret. We do see Ben Snap looking to go down bot lane. And the small little skirmish continues, and that's exactly what they were looking for. Ben Snap going to come in right as this battle is about halfway finished. Till Sap hanging on for dear life. But here comes Ben Sap, going to find first blood probably onto Miensfo. It's going to go over to Till Sap, actually. So Miensfo gets aggressive right as the jungler was coming. This is exactly what they were looking for. And Northwood going to find the first kill. Yeah, so with that, they can go, they can go back, get some additional items for themselves, see if they can dominate this lane. Being able to get one kill against a Draven lane where it's supposed to be trying to get him to snowball as hard as possible, which requires him to get some kills for himself, is definitely going to be brutal for St. Clair. I mean, one is not going to be a one and done, but it is definitely scary nonetheless. About as scary as that red box that I do see on my OBS. Come on, Tech Savvy, you can do it. But we do see Trick up here in the top lane. Frez going to try and hop in with the stun. Does get it. Do they have enough burst damage to secure the kill? They're going to damn well try. Trick with the spear. Going to finalize that one. Until Sap is going to be going down. Lazzy cashing out. Takes a turret shot, and that actually did so much damage. Holy smokes. But he is going to be able to pay out on one of those kills. Good little setup from the St. Clair bot lane as Haru was not in position to guard his partner. Of course, Veigar tends to have quite the mana problem early, to say the least. So every time he tries to whip out one of those Qs, it's going to cost him a decent chunk of mana, but of course the consolation is if he's getting these... If he gets the last hits with it, he is boosting his AP further and further, making him stronger and stronger. Miensfo thinking about a roam, but is just kind of going back and forth between lanes. Frez jumping in, maybe a level down. However, he still has a decent amount of burst damage to him. But Bendy, now with the shield in hand, is not going to let him get away from this unscathed. Basically trading this over to the point where Bendy's now positive. Oh, aggressive play from Frez, actually, and it's going to work. I did not expect that in the slightest. Nicely done there from Frez, securing the solo kill with the Gator on to Bendy. Ircon jumps in, and a nice little stop from Miensfo, able to catch Ben Snap, who was trying to make a sneaky little gank. Not going to happen, just wasting his time. The only thing that was blown was actually all on the side of Northwood. So St. Clair in the lead so far, still early. They can make something happen, as now Trick has met Bendy. Frez just tanking this turret. Oh, you just came back to lane, did you? Well, hello, goodbye. Bendy getting shut down very quickly. 3 deaths already within 6 minutes. Holy smokes. Okay, that is an awesome looking stun cage. I love this skin. Of course, we don't see much Veigar, so for those who do not know, with that big old cage there, it is a stun, but it's only a stun if you walk into the sides of the cage. If you're in the center of it, you are A-okay. You will not take any sort of crowd control. Meanwhile, Lassie was kind of separated from Miensfo, so forced to run away. Catch his axes in style while he can take care of that ward. Needs to get back to his lane. Does have Miensfo with them. But the threatening presence of this St. Clair bot lane is enough to give them a small CS lead, and may actually turn into a dragon if Northwood isn't careful, some decent damage coming down onto Ghost Electricity as Yule and Trick team up to do a bunch of damage. And sure enough, there's the first dragon, the Mountain Drake, going over to St. Clair College uncontested. Ghost Electricity in the stun, but of course is staying in the center. Not going to take any sort of impairment from that. Oh, but Lassie's got to be careful. We do have Ben Sapp coming in once again. Mansfo force a flash away. Lassie extremely low. Ignite is onto him. He's going to try and turn us around to get a kill and cash out before he goes down. Not going to be the case, so he loses some of those stacks that he would have been building for most of this game. And the flash coming out there from Ghost Electricity, really respecting the burst damage coming out of Yule. But to be honest, Yule has very little mana, but I guess he did have the blue buff now. So would have been able to do his combo if he really wanted to. Speaking of combos, holy smokes, Frez, he's actually on top of this lane this time after getting 1 kill, 2 assists, and basically jump-starting Trick also in the process. He's got like a bunch of daggers. He doesn't even have that much damage, but I'm curious as to the... Oh, I thought the first item was a dagger. That's not a dagger. That is something completely different. But meanwhile, Shockwave going absolutely nowhere for Ghost Electricity. But Ben Snap and his ultimate slams him down under the turret. Actually, Bendy trying to hang on from Frez as well. Big ol' shield coming his way. Frez going to think twice about that. Of course, with Set able to carry a character with his ultimate and basically just slam him down, it's easy to set it up so that you can like, slam him underneath a turret, put them in awful position. As we do see Frez move forward, the flash comes out, does not matter, stunned up Bendy. Can he pull this away with the shield? Frez is going to respect the shield, especially since Trick and Ben Snap are here. Spear coming out from Trick is not going to find its mark just yet. Ghost Electricity looking to get the 1v1 onto Yule. Does he have enough burst damage? He does. Pop goes the Ori. Taken down nice and quick. Yule getting on the board. And of course, Vhagar can scale forever. Every single last hit that he gets with that Q is 1 more AP towards his AP count, I do believe, unless the math has changed since the last time I've known, which, let's be honest, that's been a while, so probably. Meanwhile, it's going to be Lassie getting charmed up, but the target is still focused on Tilsap. A lot of damage done to both, actually, now. When the knockup happened, Lassie switched targets, did some decent damage alongside Minsfo, and it's just going to go back and forth. Nobody really going to get the advantage in this situation. Should be able to heal it up momentarily. They still have a decent amount of mana on to Haru. And finally, top turret, or not finally, but very quickly rather, this top turret going down here for Frez. As Haru goes in, Snap is right there. Can he actually get involved, or are they going to kite him out? Lassie is really trying to get aggressive with this, but it might have been too much as he gets caught up. Tilsap going to get 1 kill, going to find himself a second as Mensfo slowly but surely starts burning down. And Sap is going to be able to take care of Mensfo. And then Ghost Electricity also nearly went down in the mid lane after... never mind, he did go down in the mid lane after the combo from Yule. It didn't even include his ultimate. And then, surprise, we have a Gator and a Cougar in this game. And the Cougar just ate your face as the Rift Herald is coming down to the mid lane. Start doing some additional damage towards that turret. It's extremely low at this point now. Lots of plates going over. And there goes the mid turret. Can they get 1 more out of it? Or is Shelly going to call it quits here? Oh, it does get another turret shot. So that is a lot of value coming out right now for St. Clair. And never mind, there is no turret plates. It looks like they're down already. Oh, duh. Second tier turrets don't have platings. Hello? Get with the program, banners. Meanwhile, Lassie caught out completely off guard. Did not wait for his support. His over-aggression is going to kill him on that one. And if St. Clair is not careful, Tilsap could very well be the carry that they that Northwood needs here. As this back and forth nearly goes down to the wire, Frez going to hang on by a thread and capitalize on that elimination. Be able to push all the way to the inhibitor turrets. How much damage can he get done on this? Already a quarter down. Is anybody going to respond to it? It is going to be one. I think that's Hiru who's going to go back to try and stop him. Meanwhile, this Ocean Drake is now on the field. St. Clair already has one. One Mountain Drake. Is there any going to be a stealing opportunity? Nobody home, so uncontested second dragon. The pressure elsewhere on the map was too much. In the mid lane, Yule getting chased down, but he does manage to stun down Ben Snap. But we do see the ults coming out here from Hiru, who's going to finally stun down one. But Yule's going to make sure that it's a trade nonetheless. Blows up Ghost Electricity, who just wanted to get on the board with an assist. And worst case scenario for Northwood, that shutdown gold went to their support instead of either Ben Snap or I keep saying Ben Snap, but Ben Sap or a Ghost Electricity. So unfortunate for Northwood. They get the shutdown gold, and it may not have been exactly where they were wanting it. And then one thing I do have to mention as well is, of course, the team says Northwood University, but not 100% sure if this is an academy team or if this is the main team. The registration did not show this. So I have been assuming that this is the main roster because the registration does not show me otherwise. So if I do end up saying it wrong, no hard feelings. Lots of damage onto Hiru so far in this push. Nearly finding the spear as well from Trick. Would have got him pretty close to death probably. Very close. Yule nearly getting picked off by Bendy, but he does have to watch up and snap. But Frez is there as well. Gator pops the ulti, charges in towards Bendy. The 1v1 attempt coming out here from Bendy on to Yule. When he does make contact, that does do decent damage, but he's going to have to try and run for the hills. Frez is going to eat literally every ultimate in existence and possibly go positive. Can he make it happen? So far he can, as it's going to be the shutdown gold. Sure, it goes over to the Orianna. She finally found the kills that she needed, but Yule found himself a double. But can he deal with the pressure from Tilsap? It is not going to be the case. Goes down 5-1 now onto Tilsap's Zaya. Almost said Zarya. Wrong game, Danners. Wrong game. There is no Graviton in this. I mean, let's be honest. Ori's ulti might as well be a Graviton. A very short Graviton. But you know what I mean. Lots of vision right now for St. Clair. Have pretty much any nook and cranny covered here in this jungle. We do have the Rift Herald coming up once again. Shelly is ready to play. Last time Saints got it, it was 2 turrets right down the mid lane. Tons of damage. And if they happen to get one more, Shelly can be poking at the inhibitor turrets at this rate with how this game has been going. A massive gold lead right now, considering how long this game has been in play for St. Clair. And Frez is going to get caught out, though. Here we go once again. Pops the ulti just to try and go even here. Ghost Electricity getting extremely low. Going to run for the hills. Probably wise to not try and get involved, because that's exactly what can happen. That should have probably just been a one-and-done deal. But Ghost Electricity wanted to get the kill shot and got greedy for it. Tilsap going to pop the ulti as Trick and Miespo are now moving forward. A big ult is actually going to be the finishing blow. Bendy up in the top lane gets exploded by Yule. And St. Clair look like they're running away with this. They don't even have to be together to make this happen. Seems like just partners of two, having duos is good enough here for the St. Clair squad, as now Yule has busted down that top turret and is looking to maybe snag himself an inhibitor if he remains uncontested. However, Ghost Electricity is coming in hot to try and contest, and of course, Yule without a ultimate will not be able to burst him. Dragon number 3 has now arrived on the scene. Trick does have the Rift Herald as well. He wants to pop it down somewhere so they can take this for free, but to be honest, with how much damage has already been done to the Northwood base, they could probably hang on to it and just push with it later. 3 of them already on the Dragon as of this moment, and they're taking this down pretty quickly to the point where even Frez can go on warding duty and see if he can snag himself some quick kills. Sure enough, so it's going to be Dragon number 3 for St. Clair. Next one will be a Soul. A cheeky little move there from Hiru. Going to try and make something happen here with Ben Sap, but not going to happen. Just interrupting his back ever so slightly. It just dawned on me that Lassie has 3 BF swords. Are those actually going to be turned into anything, or are we just going to build just damage? Because damage. It's Draven. Damage is all we need. Only damage. And unfortunately there for Frez, just a little overeager. Some question mark pings coming up. Probably fair. Frez was ready for the fight, and as soon as Northwood saw that, they're like, nope, 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 run for the hills. Of course, Herald's still in the pocket of Trick right now. Could still be used at any moment. As there's no longer Heralds, it is now Baron. Baron has now appeared at the pit. And here it comes. It's actually going to be summoned by Lassie. I was wrong. It wasn't Trick who had it. And Bendy taking so much damage just from Frez alone. Ben Sap going to try and make this happen. But as Frez is getting focused down, the rest of St. Clair have just tore through this center. And then Shelly's probably going to finish this off, to be honest. There it goes. They can actually focus on the fight now. They may be a player down, but they are quite ahead. This can still be done. Manspo in the middle of everything. For Lassie, he may be the AD carry, but he's literally going point blank with these guys until Bendy goes one-on-one with him due to his ultimate. Yule in the background, still just taking pot shots where he can. Same thing with Trick. Does Yule have enough damage to make something happen? Ben Sap almost goes down, but it's going to be Bendy getting some kills on the board. He was really having a hard time, but he may have found a bit of a reboot button in that last fight. I like the idea from St. Clair, but I feel like that works if Frez runs. If he runs for the hills when everybody starts coming at him, you get the turret, you get the inhibitor. That play basically ends up the same. Or something just happened. I'm not sure how Lassie ended up in the middle of everybody inside of the base of Northwood, but it is what it is. They still got the objective nonetheless. They could probably start looking towards Baron for a possible take. Get all buffed up, get some items, and push forward. We'll have to see. Looking at some of these items now for St. Clair, of course, Trick looks like he's absolutely on fire. Frez is in decent shape, at least damage-wise. Maybe not the most tanky of Gators, but still decent in itself. Lassie is actually the one behind for once, but yet he still has 3 BF swords, which is very, very unusual that none of those have been turned into an actual item. And then Majai's on both Yule and Trick. Gonna just, if they could stack those and keep themselves alive, that'd be absolutely disgusting for their damage output. Baron being pushed upon. Yule going to try and zone them out with the or not the ultimate, with the stun. And Baron going to go to the wayside there and get the chance to regenerate and get himself back into this game full health. Of course, Northwood now have to worry about the super minions coming through the center. Possible opportunity here for the fight to happen, and they're going to find Lassie extremely quickly. He gets blown up very fast, but it's actually not him who's maybe the one you should be worrying about. Trick is now the main damage dealer in this case alongside Yule. Is going to find himself a double nice and quick. Frez leading the charge alongside Miensfo and Yule. There's the stun onto Bendy. Bendy is not going to be very long for this world. He does pop his ultimate on to Frez just to try and stay alive just that little bit longer. Is going to eventually find it. Yule pushes R and absolutely deletes. And they could be looking for a game end right here, right now. 3 members down on the side of Northwood. And it looks like they opt against it. They're just going to let Trick push forward with some minions, put some pressure onto that inhibitor, and look for that soul point on the dragon. Lassie is not far behind, so they'll have a little bit of additional damage. I don't think there's anybody who can steal this right now if they're quick enough. However, they're a little bit slow. They do not have a smite available in this scenario if all of a sudden Ben Snap are able to jump in, but that is exactly why you pop the gigantic stun out there, just to cover it. Right on time, St. Clair are going to be able to get their Dragon Soul and move forward with some additional items. If we're playing for objectives, of course, the Baron is probably the next one on deck unless we're going to think about a split push here. Maybe push that top side inhibitor while Frez is just knocking on the door of the bottom towers. It's already been softened up as is, to the point where even Northwood is still a little bit nervous about it. And we have ourselves a pause as I take a look down bot. Hiru with 1s across the board on his scoreline. 1-1 and 11. But it gives me a brief second to take a breather as now under pause. Not 100% sure what has happened in this moment. See if I can take a look in a second. Does not say, so hopefully this won't be too long here. St. Clair, of course, in a fantastic position with over 7,000 gold in the lead. Both Trick and Yule have fantastic records going right now, both with crazy AP damage, able to really blow up whatever target they jump on, to the point where even tanks probably aren't safe at this point. The bot lane, however, for St. Clair, to be honest, have not been much of a factor so far in this game, even on the assists standpoint, with only 2 and 4 respectively. And then Frez was definitely giving Bendy up in the top lane a run for his money, being able to solo kill him a couple times, but a bunch of these team fights did start swinging in to Bendy's favor to the point where he got 4 eliminations for himself. So was able to catch up a little bit in that regard. But now we're looking at Baron, it looks like, as everybody except Frez is hovering around that area. Could very well find ourselves in a team fight scenario sometime shortly after the pause. But we'll have to wait and see. He's trying to figure out what's going down here. Now looking on the side of Northwood, their win condition is definitely going to rely on Tilsap, on the Zaya for right now anyway. Currently probably the one with the most damage so far on this team. Infinity Edge, Essence Reaver ready to go. It could very well, if it lines up properly, do a decent chunk of AoE damage as well. But I'll have to see where the positioning arises. If is it near the tanks, near his support, or if it's to get picked out right away? Because right now, like again, we're seeing the Orianna come out for, or rather against St. Clair. I feel like St. Clair's gotten pretty decent at trying to play around the Orianna win condition. Of course, the Shockwave. And even then, at this point, the Shockwave is going to be more of a lockdown, more of a CC tool, considering Orianna only has the Luden's Echo, which, to be honest, if that goes onto Vigar, if that goes on to Lazi, that is still going to be a solid chunk of damage, don't get me wrong. But I don't see it doing too much to Brez, to Trick, or Mensfo with that ultimate at this point. Does appear like there was some It's been a long day, what can I say? Some technical difficulties on the side of one of the players on St. Clair's side. I hear they're trying to reconnect themselves into the game as we speak. Apparently someone got disconnected and needed a router reboot. I wonder if the internet had anything to do with what I was feeling a second earlier. We did have a small hiccup in the home office of sorts here, but I think everything's underway. I'm not seeing any additional dropped frames. So sorry if earlier as the game was starting it was a little bit laggy, but we seem all right now. Yeah, unfortunately, still some things getting fixed up on the side of the St. Clair side. In theory, hopefully, since I switched it over to my camera, this is then the opportunity when they start the game, right? Because I'm totally prepared to throw it to a break and get a drink, take a breather. This would be the perfect time for the game to start. Reverse psychology isn't working this time. Normally that actually works, but nonetheless, there is still an opening here for Northwood to make something happen. Told you it would happen. We're getting back into the game. Thankfully, all players back in play. And we're going to hop right into a team fight right away. It looks like Hero was really trying to make something work with that ulti, but did not charm anybody. Not this time. Hovering around the Baron pit, but not opting to get it started just yet. Northwood have held on long enough to the point where they don't have to worry about super minions down the mid lane anymore. That inhibitor has respawned. And baited. Absolutely baited. And some more issues happening. It looks like it's actually Frez who seems to be having some troubles, so...
A summoner has disconnected.
Oh, never mind. It wasn't Frez. It was actually Bendy. The issues were on the side of Northwood. So a quick relog here for Bendy as he tries to get back into this game. Of course, he was just finally starting to turn things around here, like personally and for his team. Northwood still have a striking chance. They did let a lot go early in this game, but to be honest, this composition here from St. Clair felt kind of early game dominant, to say the least. Of course, Renekton is just going to be a beefy boy by the end of this game, beefy gator. But then the game Trick is still going to be blowing people up on Italy. Same thing with Yule on the Vagar. But right now, like, I feel like Lazi didn't get ahead enough to make this Draven pick stick, but he'll still be a factor if left alone. This won't be as much damage as I'm sure he would like. And then, I mean, at the end of the day, Miansfo is still going to be an engaged bot. If he actually hits that ultimate, that's kind of critical, but it's okay. They're still going to be able to take care of Ben Sap, as Yule's going to find the stun. Frez has no HP, but is continuing to dive in anyway. Okay. Wrap that one up nicely there for Tilsap. 4-on-4 Baron, still a possibility. They're charging right for it, and they're actually going to get this one started. Because they took out Ben Sap, there is no smite on the side of Northwood, which is going to make them confident enough to try and make this happen. But they have to make sure they don't take too much damage in the meantime. Yansfo getting to about half HP before getting topped off by Trick. And enough damage, or the threat of damage, was enough here for St. Clair to back off of the Baron. And then in the meantime, Tilsap just pushing that mid turret, finally going to break the first mid turret here in this game. I low-key thought that Yule just one-shot the blue buff. I would have been absolutely surprised. I mean, he definitely has a ton of AP at this point, has that death cap, has Bajai stacking, and a little bit of additional magic penetration as well. So even if you do build MR to try and resist him, he doesn't really care. So Yule going to be looking scary. Trick going to be looking scary as well. And then, like I was saying before, Lassie and Miansfo, you can't let them be. They're still going to be a factor, just not as much as I'm sure they would have wanted. You do see St. Clair kind of letting Lassie have a moment up in the top lane by himself just to farm up, catch back up CS-wise. He's pretty much neck and neck now with Tilsap in regards to CS, but at the same time, Tilsap has all of those kills and assists to his name. So, lots of gold in the pockets of Adzaya. Covered around the Baron. They're thinking about starting it up again. In fact, it looks like they're going to go for it, but literally, as soon as they start, all of the members of Northwood, exception of Bendy, start moving towards that direction. Frez is going to start moving up as well. He does have the teleport if necessary, but they're going to start jumping in. Miansfo gets caught up, is going to drop the ulti, but does not really find anybody too much. Trick from the side, awaiting the arrival of Frez. Frez is now here, and that is going to be the go button. We see Lassie up top. It was a little bit ahead of the game, but Tilsap is already down. That is the main damage dealer on the side of Northwood, and that is going to be critical. Frez is going to do this 1v1 just fine. You'll trying to get a piece of it. Does not matter. I believe that is an ace triple kill for Trick, and everybody is down on the side of Northwood. If this is not game, this is at least 2 inhibitors, so 2 lanes full of super minions. We'll see what they try to do. They're going to go for one turret. They blow it up with ease. They're going for the second one. They very well might be able to do it, and they're going to take that as well. Nobody has spawned. St. Clair College going to take down Northwood University here in the Drury League of Legends Invitational. Now, if that was the Northwood main roster, congratulations to the League of Legends team, as they have taken down Northwood University's, or is the first one of our St. Clair teams to take down a Northwood University main varsity roster. That is definitely huge. I know personally when I was looking at the standings, I was not predicting that St. Clair would win this match. But like I say time and time again, I personally love to be wrong. So, fantastic job there from St. Clair with an early game kind of blow up composition. It worked much differently than I was expected. The lanes that I thought would get ahead worked, and it was the other lanes, but it worked out beautifully nonetheless, which means St. Clair is going to be moving forward into Championship Sunday for sure. And not only that, but they've got themselves a decent seed in it as well. I can't see them going any lower than third, depending on what the other matches happen and how they turn out as this day goes on. Because, of course, all the other teams have one more match, but we have our bye as the final one. So it's a free win, basically, because of the our group having 7 instead of 8 players, or 8 teams, rather. But holy smokes, that was quite the matchup. I know I was definitely excited to see it. That last team fight, Tilsap just got blown up. That's basically it. Quickly, or I was trying to see if I can hop into the stream and take a look and cheat at a replay of sorts, but wasn't going to be able to be the case. But Tilsap got blown up, was the only real damaged threat on the team. Everybody else is tanky. Everybody else like has utility, but damage. And damage was definitely the problem there with Tilsap gone. So congratulations to St. Clair on a fantastic run, going with 1 loss here today. 5-1 total if you don't include the bye. 6-1 you do include it. So I'll include the bye this time because that's going to be our end score. That's one more time. A fantastic job to St. Clair. We'll be looking to get them on stream once again tomorrow for Championship Sunday. And I'm just going to double check the schedule to see when that starts. I don't want to give you the wrong time here. Knockout stage does not tell me. 1 second. I apologize. Schedule. There we are. Of course, exclamation mark bracket if you want to follow along to the stats and see the schedule as well. Let's see, group stage, quarterfinals. We're starting at 11 o'clock again tomorrow. Who needs sleep? We all know nerd morning is at noon, right? But it's okay. Sleepy or not, it is going to be a fantastic day nonetheless. Single elimination action for the Championship Sunday matches. I'm not sure if they are best of 3. I'll be sure to let you know tomorrow morning what the case is there. But without further ado, let's get ready to close out. So, of course, sponsors, thank you so much for making St. Clair Saints Gaming possible. Of course, that's the St. Clair Alumni Association, St. Clair SRC, Tim Hortons, PC Outlet, Zekelman School of Business and Technology, and of course, St. Clair College themselves. Thank you all for sponsoring the Saints and making this all happen. Big thank you to everybody tuning in tonight, giving support to their team, whether you're on the Saints side or not. It's always a pleasure having you in the stream, supporting your friends, family, and classmates, or even just the program itself, making this happen. And if, like I was saying before, if I can entertain you for at least a little bit today, that makes my day. So thank you so much for tuning in. But let's take a look at the schedule before we close out, actually. I didn't quite pick that up yet. I know I'm exhausted, but I can't speed through this. No, we got to do this right. So, of course, up next, it's going to be tomorrow, actually. So this was done earlier in the day, but 11 in the morning tomorrow. League of Legends, the Drury Esports Invitational continues with the quarterfinal matchup. There is 2 hours between matches, so that does sound like a best of 3 to me, but I will confirm that tomorrow for you. Later on Sunday as well, as long as, it depends on when the games are done. If St. Clair happens to be done early, then we will do Call of Duty Modern Warfare. However, if St. Clair does get to the grand final game, this Call of Duty match will get switched out for the League of Legends Championship game. Then on Monday, right now it says Overwatch for Nace. However, it sounds like the team that we're supposed to play for our season finale, that they completely dropped out of the league. So this may get switched over to Rocket League. I will confirm that for you by tomorrow. Tuesday, Rocket League is scheduled, and that's for some more NACE action. One more matchup there, and I think they're getting close to their playoff season. It must be getting close by now. Looks like... yeah, this is the last week of regular season for them as well. So, Rocket League playoffs around the corner. Then on Wednesday, we're playing some UCEA Overwatch. Still got a couple weeks left in that season. Okay. Now I think I pretty much got everything. Once again, be sure to follow the channel if you're not done so already, because there is just so much content ready to come out, so many matches. It's going to be absolutely insane. But one more time, big thank you to everybody for tuning in. You can catch the VODs here on Twitch past broadcasts, or be sure to watch it on YouTube as well. Gigantic VOD archive there, as well as we're starting to build some player spotlights, some player interviews, as well as the newly returned Bird's Eye View being hosted by the esports students, the second-year esports students at St. Clair College. It's something I know my group started, but we're happy to see them pick up where we left off. And that's for your weekly recap in regards to Saints Gaming updates. But for now, again, my name is Dan Banner. Thank you for being with me here since about 11 o'clock this morning. It may be 6 o'clock, but it's time for a nap. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning.